Hello everyone, this is Genius Yoshi, and today we are revisiting a fan favorite, the good old mill deck, now branded Gentleman's Mill, because with Rise of Floodborn we have gotten this fantastic card to add to the archetype. Donald Duck, perfect gentleman, and perfect to include in this deck, as at the start of your turn, each player may draw a card, helps you to find your whole new worlds, and helps to get more cards out of the opponent's deck and into, well, we don't really care where they go as long as they're not in our opponent's deck. So I'll be playing 4 copies of Donald Duck, Perfect Gentleman. The centerpiece of the mill deck is to be playing a whole new world, and to be playing a whole new world again and again and again because it makes the opponent draw 7 cards while refreshing our own set of resources. So we mill by drawing as many cards as the opponent, but by playing a few more cards. I'm going to be aiming in the 63 to 65 type of range, probably 64, just to make sure we have a few extra cards, and if we draw a card here and there, we can still mill the opponent. Also, most of the decks that we'll be playing against tend to draw cards. Amethyst loves to draw cards with little Merlin Rabbit these days, and Mad Min shenanigans. So we'd probably be fine with 60, but we're playing a bit more just to ensure that that's going to work. So we want to be playing a whole new world as often as possible. And to do that, well, we're going to be doing it again and again. So do it again picks back up an action from our discard, so we can play it again. And the other option to do that is Lady Tremaine, Wicked Stepmother. And that's kind of the base and core of our deck, where Donald has a symmetric draw, helps us find our first whole new world to get that engine running. Then between Do It Again, Lady Tremaine's, and other copies of Whole New World, we can usually just keep on the engine rolling and keep on milling the opponent 7 cards a turn whenever appropriate. Alright, so what else are we going to be playing? Well, the rest is all about surviving and trying to deny our opponent tempo. So we're going to be playing 4 copies of Captain Hook. Just a cheap character, punishes the opponent. We'll be playing 2 copies of Duke of Weselton because when we're about to play a whole new world, sometimes you have that extra point of ink remaining, and just being able to drop a Duke or a Captain Hook on the battlefield, or just for that early game presence, can be quite valuable. We're not overly worried about card advantage. We just want stuff to play to control the board and kind of apply enough pressure that the opponent can just quest with anything and try to win the game. So we're also going to be playing some Cinderellas, Knights in Training, because we want to be playing the big Cinderella, the Stoutheart. Cinderella Stoutheart is one of the ways that we can challenge ready characters, and we're already playing a whole new world. And speaking of removal, we're also going to be including a full playset of Grab Your Sword. I mean, if we're playing the Steel Songs, we're playing the Steel Songs. 4 copies of Grab Your Sword, 4 copies of a whole new world. And with those, Cinderella Stoutheart has a lot of good ways to trigger her Singing Sword, where she can challenge a ready character. Also with her Resist 2, she's just very sturdy in general and is good pressure against the opponent. We're mostly going to be shifting her into play, or at least that's a plan. Normally the downside is that it's costing you 2 cards, but again, we're going to be spamming Whole New World, so we don't care that much about card advantage. We just care about playing big threats very fast. And Tinkerbell Giant Fairy does the same thing. If you can shift her on top of a small, tiny Tactician Tinkerbell, then you've gained good control on the battlefield at the cost of cards, which we are mitigating with our strategy anyways. So we're playing the small Cinderella into the big Cinderella, the small Tinkerbell into the big Tinkerbell, and 6/1 drop so far. Alright. So what else are we playing? Well, let's look at removal spells that are available. There's Let the Storm Rage On, which I don't really want to include. I do want to be careful about self-drawing, and that card is an inkable. And there's I want to be careful about the uninkables in the deck because I'm already playing 4 copies of Grab Your Sword, Whole New World, Lady Tremaine, and Do It Again that are almost mandatory. So I'm already at 16, so I want to be careful. And there is another spell that is uninkable that I do really want to include, and that's Mother Knows Best. For a couple of reasons. It's a very nice removal spell. It's a song, so Cinderella Stout Heart will trigger off of Mother Knows Best. Also, we're going to be playing quite a few 3-drops in the deck, so it's a nice card that can be sung. And if we bounce back an opponent's character into their hand and then wipe their hand, this is a hard removal, or it acts as a hard removal if it's right before a Whole New World. And a singable 3-drop hard removal is fabulous. I think there is a fabulous card with that. The World's Greatest Criminal? Nah, there's no fabulous in the name. Anyways, Mother Knows Best, fabulous in this deck. That brings us to 20 uninkables, and that's where we're going to stop. Alright, so we're looking for more pressure that prevents our opponent from questing. We can probably complete our 2-drops with some Prince Eric's. In terms of 3, Lawrence is big pressure. So they're characters that are very powerful whenever they're challenging. So Eric is essentially a 3/3 on the offensive. Lawrence is a 4/4 until he takes some damage. I think this card is actually pretty decent, just in the void. It's particularly good if you're not playing against Steel, because Steel has so many ways to ping it that it becomes a 0/4 or 0/3 very, very fast. But against other ink types, well, he just remains a 4/4 until removed, or until he has at least 1 combat, and typically 1 combat is all he needs to pull his weight. I'll also be playing a full place of the Benjas, so that we don't get trashed by these pesky artifacts. It's a nice inkable, middle of the range card. Just very solid. We'll be playing a full playset of Smash, because removal. And yeah, I just like removal. And we need 2 more cards. Well, let's go at a flat 64. So to wrap things up, I do like adding a pair of John Silvers. A bit of a top end, but if the opponent is playing these big characters that are hard to remove, John Silver can force them to challenge so they're not questing. And he can do it a few times when you put into play when he quests. And hopefully these 2 turns of triggers are enough for you to land your last remaining Whole New Worlds and wrap up the game. And that brings our deck to 64 cards. Nice early pressure with a 1-drop, 2-drops, 3-drop with Lawrence or Benja. 4-drops is when we start going into our Perfect Gentleman or into our shifting mechanics. Tinkerbell to Tinkerbell, Cinderella is Cinderella. And then once we have enough ink, we get the engine going with a Whole New World, and opponents out of cards. At least that's the game plan. All that remains to see is the deck in action with some games coming right up. Let's see if we can put our Gentle Duck to good use. Do it again, Smash, Mother Knows Best, Tinkerbell, do it again. We definitely don't want these do it agains. I think we'll keep the 3 inkables as well as 1 copy of Whole New World. Okay, we found a pair of Lawrences. That is an acceptable pickup. Opponent resolves an Olaf. Right, well, we'll send our first copy of Lawrence to the ink. I think we want to resolve our Weselton. Little Duke over here, just a vanilla 2/2, quest for 1. Opponent is planning some Madam Min shenanigans. Whoops, he says. Not sure whoops about what. Then let us ink ourselves a Cinderella. Play Prince Eric and pass the turn. Oh, I think the oops is because the opponent forgot to quest. That's probably it. Well, we'll take one less lore to worry about. As the opponent resolves a Tinkerbell, so steal Amethyst is our opponent's plan. So ink that John Silver and resolve our turn 3 threat. In the form of Lawrence. Big 4/4, big threat. And our pressure is keeping the opponent off of questing. The Tinkerbell would hurt here. A bigger one. The Bane of Lawrence. Lawrence just 4/4 as long as he doesn't have any damage. Gonna ink that Eric. Do we want to play our smash here? I'd rather not hardcast Whole New World next turn. I'd rather resolve the Tinkerbell and then sing it off of the Tinkerbell, but then I need to make sure I have enough inkables. So I think I'm going to hold a smash. Make sure that I have an inkable. Playing nothing on turn 4, it really feels bad. Sometimes you have to make the right play in the right situation. And maybe that wasn't it. Opponent resolves a beast. Beast that draws extra cards. Now that's good for us. So ink Lawrence. Same situation here. Well, we can always just resolve Lady Tremaine. Alright, so let's smash something. What do we want to smash? I want to keep the extra card for the opponent, so I think I'm going after Min Fox. Min Snake, I mean. Yeah, let's take out a Min. Opponent draws 2 off of the beast. Plays an ugly Isma. Without Beauty Sleep. 3/4 for 3. Okay. Now I have to ask, does that thing have shift? Yes. Isma Scary Beyond All Reason does have a shift 4. That's something to keep in mind, and probably the reason why the opponent is playing the weaker copy. Opponent lets the Storm Rage on, takes out our Prince of Weselton. Alright. And here we'll resolve Tinkerbell. Unfortunately, it stops the drawing off of the beast. But that's alright. We now have a singer for our Whole New World, which is most of what we're asking for. Opponent resolves the big Isma. Yes! And score Isma eats Merlin to draw cards. The opponent has no idea of what we're keeping for them. Our mill strategy is intact. Min Fox comes in, bounces back the beast. Honestly, that is just really beautiful for us. As we ink that Tinkerbell, and Madam Min Fox, yes, you've bounced something into your hand, but little did you know that you actually killed it. Because it's a whole new world out there. And we're wiping the state clear. And now what do we follow it up with? We could bounce something. Maybe we bounce the fox. Actually, we don't have another whole new world. So I want to resolve Donald. Because Donald gets us more cards. We have a bit too many Cinderellas. Actually, let's wipe out that Isma. Just a bit of a bang here. Sing Mother Knows Best. Using Lawrence and bounce back that Madam Min. Because Madam Min does have the cost of forcing our opponent to bounce something back into their hand. So yes, you have a ton of cards in hand, and thanks to Donald, you might be going for even more. Madam Min, with the downside, having to bounce that Tinkerbell, so you can trade with Lawrence. Lawrence, our 3-drop singer that just loves singing Mother Knows Best. Because after all, that looks like the face of a man that really loves his mother, I guess. Alright. Well, off of Donald Duck, we draw an extra card. Opponent draws an extra card. We find a Do It Again. Do we want to do it again? Right now. Right here. I think we do. Opponent has just so many cards in hand. We have to go for it, right? Do it again. Pick up a whole new world. Singing a whole new world. Goodbye, hand of my opponent. As we find another copy of a whole new world, another duck, another Do It Again. Let's play our second Donald Gentleman, giving us access to more cards and Conquest. Fake applying some pressure. Although at this point it's unlikely that we'll win through lore. More likely to win through a whole new world again and again. Madam Min bouncing stuff back. Keep bouncing stuff. Sending them to your hand is sending them to their grave. I'll draw one off of Donald, but only one. So we're most likely going to whole new world again. I do have to be careful about deck count. 25 to 33. Opponent went for 1. Alright, what do we want to resolve here? I don't think it's going to be an Eric. A bounce spell would probably be nice. So we're going to sing a whole new world. But what else do we want to play? We can play for 9. So we could go Tinkerbell, Do It Again, making sure that we have 2 nice threats on the battlefield. Cinderella Stoutheart would also be quite nice here. Do we get a discount if we go the 2-drop into the 7? No. We get a draw 1, discard 1. We could just drop both Cinderellas. 32-24. Let's go with Cinderella Stoutheart. Let's drop a small Cinderella. And decline. Don't really see a use for it. And it's time to sing our favorite song. A whole new world. Wiping out your hands, always been my dream. And we can sing A Mother Knows Best. I think we'll keep it for now. We can sing it next turn too. Oh, gentlemens. Making sure that we have enough card to keep on playing Whole New World after a Whole New World. Ooh, Pinocchio. Opponent can force exert one of our characters. We do have to be careful that our opponent just doesn't quest us to oblivion in one turn. The opponent has 16 cards left. That's 2 whole new worlds, a draw step, and actually that Merlin. Is that... You may draw a card, so it's optional. Strength for Raging Fire. Ouch. Opponent took out our Cinderella. Ouch. That's a big removal spell. The opponent is going after our Tinkerbell. With all the strength of a raging fire. I originally dismissed that spell, but it did pretty well there. I don't really want to draw off of Donald at this point. Opponent goes for 2 cards. Find another Donald Duck. Alright, so how much can the opponent quest for? 5. A measly little 5. It's not too intimidating. Lorcana Lady Tremaine. Pick back up our whole new world. Can also make a Benja. We don't really need 2. Any 2 questers there? Not really. We can also land a Smash or another Donald. Although at this point, time is really what I want. So I can quest the Donalds. Take out the goat with Prince Eric. I feel like I should be smashing something, but there's nothing that quests for a meaningful amount, so let's resolve Donald number 3. This is the gentleman's mill after all. Then we still have one copy of Whole New World left in our deck. Goat comes in. 11 cards, 24. An opponent goes all the way to 11. Triple Donald. Doesn't really matter. We don't really want to draw those. Opponent decides to draw 3. Alright, well that's an interesting decision. So you've drawn a Grab Your Sword. She can deal with Pinocchio. We'll probably want to cast it. Grab Your Sword, do a bunch of combats, then Whole New World. Seems right. 2 damage to all. And to all a good night. Is that how the tale goes? Taking out Tinkerbell. Taking out whatever you have that can be challenged, really. I can ink a Benja. Bounce back something. So bounce back. Donald's going to sing it. Merlin, get you to draw an extra card. Yeah, that's actually just going to end the game. But because we can, we're gonna smash our opponent's remaining characters. Just clean up the board because we can. Oh no, it's a you may, so the opponent declined to trigger off of Merlin. So the opponent has one last card that they can draw. We've wiped out their board. And we say go. And I can't stop myself, as Kaibo loves to say it. Draw your last pathetic card. As we take the win using a perfect mill with the Donald Duck Gentleman's. Let's try to make this deck go the extra mil with a mile. The other way around? Oh well. Too late now. Going second, we have Prince Eric, Cinderella, pair of Tinkerbells, Grab Your Sword, Whole New World. Seems like a pretty solid start. The only problem is, what do we ink? Always a problem. Actually, we have a mono steel hand. And it's pretty ideal, which is kind of funny. Opponent inks a ransack, plays a Simba. Is there some kind of combo going on for our opponent? Opponent's at 52 cards. 257. What got discarded? Do it again. This looks like a mill mirror, which is quite interesting. In which case we're gonna ink or smash and pass the turn back. This is gonna be interesting. Opponent is playing a beast, tragic hero. Okay, probably not. There's a 2-quester Queen of Hearts coming down. Gonna have to get reminded what that thing does. 1/2 quest for 2. Whenever you play it, deal 2 damage to target opposing character. Alright, we're gonna respond with a Prince Eric. Just a big threat. Essentially a 3/3 on the offense, thanks to his Challenger 2. He will take down anything you play. Unless it has 4 toughness. Then Emerald Steel, there's not much. There's Lawrence. I think that's about it. At the very least, it's a color mirror. Ransack, draw 2, discard 2. Not an overly powerful card, Ransack. You end up losing a card in the exchange and a bit of tempo. So the opponent must really be going after some combo-ish strategy with another Simba. I mean, that can't be a mill deck. They're going through their cards way too fast. There must be some combo going on that I haven't figured out yet. Captain Hook is a little too slow. Too late to the party. We'll end Tinkerbell and let Prince Eric take down the 2-quester. We'll pass the turn back to our opponent. Another beast to the ink. Oh, and there's one to the battlefield. Oh, it's a beast combo. That's what it is. All these cards that ping for 1. The worst part is we're likely gonna enable them if we go after the mill plan. Here I think I have to ink the Cinderella. And go for the big tank. Ping everything for 1. Deal with the Simba. And deal 2 to this little beast. It's pretty big, but we have a giant fairy, so doesn't feel like it's that big anymore. Opponent inks a Tink and Whole New World. The opponent was running out of cards, so it was an opportune time to play it. But that brings us with at least 1 copy of Whole New World in our discard pile. And placed our strategy pretty well. Bibbidi bobbidi boop. Off you go. What does the opponent get in exchange? An evasive Tinkerbell. So the opponent's definitely playing some kind of combo-ish strategy. I want to highlight Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo, but I do have to play my turn. That we will bounce with the Mother Knows Best, I'm pretty sure. Need something to ink. You can ink Benja. I don't think the opponent's playing too many items in this deck. Brings us to 5. You can sing it. Bounce back your Tinkerbell. Let's resolve a Lawrence and a Captain Hook. Just get stuff down on the board. Apply some pressure. Where are you, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boop? You want to play some shenanigans and trade your character? That's fine. I'm just bouncing it back. If one plays back a Tinkerbell, which deals quite a bit of damage to our board and makes Lawrence quite useless, unfortunately. Alright, we're going to ink our John Silver. Land a Lady Tremaine. Pick back up our copy of Whole New World. And pass the turn. We're in no rush to be playing it. 36 card, we're at 44. Lady Tremaine doing her stuff. And the opponent is playing Do It Again. Picking back up the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boop. Bibbidi Bobbidi Boop again. Tinkerbell goes back in hand and gets exchanged for a Tinkerbell. Booms everything. Takes out our Captain Hook. I mean, when you're playing Bibbidi Bobbidi Boop, bringing out a fairy makes sense. I mean, that seems like a spell that fairies would cast. Let's see what the opponent's going to do here. My plan is to grab back the Mother Knows Best off of Do It Again. Probably sing it to bounce back Tinkerbell, cast a smash, and then sing a Whole New World, wiping out everything our opponent has worked so hard to achieve. Another beast comes in, another ping. That beast does have a little bit more willpower than what I'd like. I can also resolve a Cinderella. Maybe that's a better play. So let's ink our smash. Cast Do It Again, pick up Mother Knows Best. Sing Mother Knows Best off of Lawrence. Goodbye, Tinkerbell. You've been removed. Land our Cinderella. Lady Tremaine can go away. Doesn't really matter because we're going to throw everything out off of a Whole New World. Whole new world, whole new set of cards. And that brings us to Duke of Weselton, Lawrence, another Cinderella. Card count's still pretty high in our favor. We did pick up a bigger Cinderella. And we have a Do It Again. And we have another Whole New World in hand. Alright, so let's just resolve our Duke. Quest. Fake applying some kind of pressure, although the opponent is probably seeing us coming at 100 miles an hour now. Knows that we are trying to mill them down. I love the bounce then throw away your hand type of strategy. And we keep on doing it again and again. And Lady Trim again. But the next layer of fun is when the fun really starts. When we get a Cinderella Stoutheart on the battlefield. And then when we sing our songs, get the opponent milled out, we can also challenge their ready characters. Although that Tinkerbell is beginning to get on my nerve. So many pings. So many pings. With the Queen of Hearts finishing off our Tinkerbell. Alright. Well, if that's the way you want to play it, that's the way we'll play. We're going to shift a big Cinderella here. I think Lawrence, with the amount of pings, Lawrence isn't doing very much. Play a Do It Again. Pick up a Mother Knows Best. Sing a Mother Knows Best off of Lawrence. Let's send back. Tinkerbell? I don't like my opponent having Tinkerbells in play. Duke of Weselton can be a sacrificial target towards that beast, and Cinderella can take out that Queen of Hearts for free. That's what I call controlled. But we did lose a few of our 5+ drops there. And if we can't sing a whole new world, it becomes a lot weaker. Although we are getting into the large amounts of inks. 2734. We're getting there. In terms of card count. 1, 2 Do It Again, 2 Lady Tremaines. So 3 Do It Agains, 2 Tremaines. And 1 whole new world. No, 2, 3. We're starting to run low a little bit. Opponent takes out our Lawrence. We find another copy of Mother Knows Best. I'd like to sing it next turn. Or I could just hard sing a whole new world now. Maybe we go that route. Hard sing. Let's get a whole new hand. Find our own copy of Tinkerbell. Can ink a Cinderella. Land Tinkerbell. Let's go with that. Land Tinkerbell, ping everything for 1, get rid of the beast. Play Prince Eric, and pass the turn back. We're setting up a Grab Your Sword next turn to wipe out these small Tinkerbells. The opponent does have a lot of cards though. And we haven't quite picked up another copy of Whole New World. Or a way to pick it back up. Opponents at 19 cards. Let the Storm Rage on. 2 damage to a Tinkerbell. Opponent mills themselves for 1 by putting that card in their hand, which isn't mill, just drawing a card. But it still helps our strategy. Another time, let the Storm Rage on. Another spell, another card. 17 is the deck count. And we still have our Stout Heart. I don't care as much for Tinkerbell here. Somewhat happy that the opponent keeps on targeting her. Alright. Storm's really raging. 3 copies of Let the Storm Rage on. Just boom, boom, boom. Elsa's been doing some work. And they've all been hard casted too. So the opponent is planning on questing with these Tinkerbells. Which is alright with me. Because if that's what you want to do, then I'm singing Grab Your Sword. And dropping in Miss Cinderella number 2. At this point, maybe we'll just win off of the lore games on the Cinderella Stout Hearts. It's a pretty powerful card. Having two of them in play is pretty devastating. Here's the last copy of Let the Storm Rage On. The opponent has a mid full of cards too, and 10 ink, so it's not to be played around with. Ransack goes to the ink. Definitely don't want to play another one of those. Probably a beast. Wasn't expecting this one. I was thinking about the green beast. But the tragic hero makes sense. I do want you to keep on drawing cards. So I'm going to force you to combat with John Silver. Then just quest in the meantime. I mean, maybe I should bounce it back. That's probably the right play. Just bounce it back. Get a big ink advantage. And Retin lethal in 2 turns. It's not as fun as the mill win condition. But the Cinderellas are there. With their legendary sword shining. So you might as well make use of the Cinderellas. Haven't seen our good friend Gentleman Donald either. We've seen a lot of cards. They're all on the bottom of our deck. Queen of Hearts comes in. Inking the Tinkerbell, that's interesting. Beast again. Pack Tactic. Oh, it's a Pack Tactic deck. Alright. That could be problematic. I don't have a song anymore. But I will be forcing the Queen of Hearts to challenge. I'm not giving you another target to ping. But the opponent might just go triple Pack Tactic and win the game. We're at 19. They're low on cards. And well played. Well played because you got me? Or well played because I'm fine? Double Pack Tactic wins the game for our opponent. They don't have it. And we win through Mill and Cinderella Stout Hearts. That was scary at the end. By the time I picked up what the combo was about, it might have been too late. Let's go again. Benja, Tinkerbell, Lawrence, Hook, Lawrence, Cinderella. Lots of Lawrences. Send one back. Rest seems okay. Especially if we can find one of the shifting targets for our big top ends. Another Cinderella Stout Hearts. Not quite what we're looking for. As we're almost looking like we're playing mono steel. There's the Cinderella I'd like to have. I'm gonna ink mine. I don't have a turn 2 play. And I'm really afraid of dropping the Captain Hook and having the opponent sing a Let the Storm Rage On. Then again, if I'm playing Hook on turn 2, do I gain any kind of advantage? Or should I just bypass Hook altogether? No, I'll run it out. I want to make sure that these pesky spells are out before I drop the Lawrences. Well, it's not the best matchup for Lawrence anyways. There it is. Let the Storm Rage On. Right on time. Turn 2 as a Sleepy's Flute comes in. Well, Lawrence, you're going to the ink pile because we have a much better thing to play on turn 3. The Guardian of the Dragon Gem, Benja, destroyer of all artifacts, items. Alright, so the opponent's playing the Singer of Doom, Ariel. with the minor Singer of Doom. I think we're just going to ink both Lawrences. Go for Benja. Take out that flute. I'm not sure, how does he take out the flute? I mean, based on the picture, he's probably going at it and slicing it with his sword, but kind of picture him channeling some kind of hyper beam at it. Although this is a Disney game, not Dragon Ball. So perhaps my perceptions are wrong. Alright, opponent does nothing on turn 4, which has me surprised. I'll take the opportunity to smash that aerial. Then I'll get a free quest with Benja. So our game plan is just to start dropping Tinkerbells at this point. No mill in sight, but with the opponent playing steel, it's very likely that they will be landing some whole new worlds. And if they land whole new worlds, then we'll get to land some whole new worlds. What do we have in the discard? Hook and a smash. I don't have very much I can play here. I can play to do it again, pick up the smash, ink the Benja, or ink the smash. And then go for the Tinkerbell combos next turn. Or I can apply a bit more pressure. I think I want to apply a bit more pressure here. I'll say I don't really want to play to do it again right now. It might be the right play, but it would telegraph what I'm playing. And right now we haven't played anything that would tell our opponent that we're on a mill plan. Aerial Spectacular, Singer again. Whole new world this time. Another Strength of Raging Fire. Now that card has done some damage. And Cinderella can sing it. Ah, Sleepy's Flute again. But our second Benja is already in play. We do have more in our deck, but not for right now. Cinderella doing some heavy lifting. Hard work. Sleepy's Flute will get our opponent a bit more ink. Lore. Getting resources mixed up. And Beast will go to Quest. Alright. So here we don't have too much of a choice. You have to ink a Tinkerbell to play a Tinkerbell. The other option is we Mother Knows Best. We do it again, pick up the smash, ink the smash, Mother Knows Best, bounce the Beast. Then Benja takes out Cinderella. That's not bad either. Let's go with that plan. Take out Cinderella. Just hard bounce the Beast. Make our opponent waste some time. While we set up our ink to start dropping Tinkerbell after Tinkerbell. Also prevent the Beast card draw ability, which is a blessing and a curse, you know. Opponent sings Grab Your Sword, so they can use Sleepy's Flute to gain 1 lore. And we find our own copy of Grab Your Sword, but more importantly, we get to resolve our Tinkerbell. Let the storm rage on. Ping and draw a card. Probably should have slung that with Ariel. That's okay. Sleepy's Flute's still there. And here it is. Whole new world. Whole new set of cards. Sung by Ariel. So Beast still 3-5 on the backswing. Opponent finds another copy of Sleepy's Flute. And another Beast. Because why not? And a Cinderella to boot. $34 cards. as I think our play here is double Benja. Kind of funny play, really. You like the flutes? I like to break flutes. We're a perfect match in terms of Lorcana gameplay. In my favor, of course. Benja. That dude's awesome. Alright, anyway, I can also resolve a Captain Hook. And we're not singing Whole New World this turn, which means we're going to combat. We can trade with the Beast, ping the Aerial, or hit the Aerial, ping Cinderella. I think I want to get rid of that Beast. So I think I will go for that trade. And ping the Spectacular Singer. I'll pass a turn back. Opponent does get to draw 2 cards off Beast. I think the Benja value was worth it. Our game plan is to go Tinkerbell Hook, Inca Cinderella next turn. Or Tinkerbell Cinderella, Inca Hook. Bit of a tongue twister there. Inca Hook. Hook and Inca Nunk. And a Simba is bodyguarding. Cinderella decides to take out Captain. Storm's always raging on. And now we're all out of Benjas. So that Lantern is safe. So 10-2. I can prevent the card draw with Tinkerbell, which we almost certainly want to resolve. Benja can take out a Simba and live. I think I slightly prefer Hook to Cinderella. Gonna ink her Gentleman Duck. And yeah, we're a prime target for Grab Your Sword, but the opponent is low on cards. The Beasts aren't going to get you any extra cards because they have some damage. The opponent can still quest for quite a bit. If we do decide to go for our next copy of Whole New World, we are going to be giving them a lot of resources. Actually, I think I need to double read that Beast. At the start of your turn, if this character has no damage. Yeah, okay. So as long, that's just the draw for turn. Opponent casts Be Our Guest. Finds a Spectacular Singer. Plays a Singer, I imagine. Looking for a big song. Whole New World, preferably. Do we have Whole New World in this card? No, we don't. I'd like the opponent to find a Whole New World. That means that there wouldn't be questing with a Beast. Opponent doesn't find it. Alright. So the opponent's just holding the fort, status quo. I think we just bind our time and try to improve our hand. Cinderella finds a hook. Don't really care for that hook. I can land another Tinkerbell or ink her. Maybe I just ink the Tinkerbell. Get a bit more ink. I can apply a bit of questing pressure with the Benjas. And pass the turn back. opponent lands a very big Tinkerbell. Takes out one of our Benjas. And a much bigger Grab Your Sword, which decimates our board. The opponent had it. And top decked the other one. I'm not sure which one got top decked, but man, that hurts. Fine, Duke Weselton, definitely not what we're looking for. And the opponent can quest for lethal. Alright, what do we do here? 28, that's 4 whole new worlds. So we're not winning by mill, at least not immediately. We unfortunately lost all of our singers. Grab Your Sword doesn't get us out of there. We probably need Tinkerbell to fight a beast, thing a beast. Alright, which means we're going to need to hard cast Whole New World. Draw 7. Find a Mother Knows Best. Which can help. But I think hope is running low right now. Ping 2 to the beast so that a Grab Your Sword can be devastating, and we'll bounce a Tinkerbell. Unfortunately, we're 1 ink short. That's all we're going to be able to do. 20 to 31. I don't think we're going to make it. That Tinkerbell Grab Your Sword combo was just a little too much. We needed to keep Benja, or at least deal some damage to one of our opponent's characters. Stitch Rockstar comes in. Queen. There's just too much questing presence going on, and our board presence is suboptimal, I should say. And the opponent goes to draw cards off of Stitch Rockstar, taunting us. Oh, we can't stop this, but we can get our opponent low on cards. So, Whole New World. Whole New World. And we'll go down with a good effort, taking our opponent down to 3 cards in their deck as we concede. We almost got there. Almost. If only that Stitch Rockstar would have been done earlier to just keep our opponent drawing more cards, or if we would have kept one of those Benjas in play, we would have been able to sing one of Mother Knows Best, gain a bit more tempo, and maybe survive an extra turn. But it was a great game, and lots of fun. I hope that you've enjoyed this video featuring the Perfect Gentleman's Mill deck, which was a lot of fun to play. It's always fun to be playing a mill deck and catch opponent off guard as an off-meta pick. It's not the strongest of deck, but it's a very fun deck, especially when the opponent's playing steel and dropping a few whole new worlds by themselves before you realize you're playing mill. And then you catch them by surprise, and there's not much they can do to stop you, unless they just quest for victory, which some of the top tier decks are going to do. Donald Duck, Perfect Gentleman, did some very nice work, especially in game 1. The ability to draw and dig deeper into our deck while not draining our card differential with the opponent and actually forcing them to draw some extra cards is actually pretty nice. Some Beast Tragic Heroes drawing extra cards for the opponent every turn has also been quite nice in the current state of the metagame. And as we are getting a bit more card draw, it actually feels like Mill is in a slightly better position than what it was with just the first chapter. Now, decks are faster, decks are stronger, but with all of the meta mins bouncing stuff back and forth, playing some shenanigans like Mother Knows Best can put their strategies a little off guard, and it's really fun to do so. Again, I hope that you've enjoyed the Gentleman's Mill. Let me know in the comments below what you think of the deck list, and if you're going to try it, and what's your experience with mill decks. And don't forget to give a thumbs up to the video, to subscribe to the channel, to show your encouragement to the channel, and let me know that you're enjoying the content. Again, enjoy the rest of your day. Have a great holiday if you're watching this close to when I'm posting the video and if you're celebrating that type of things. And I will see you next time.